Yo, what it do? What it do? I just got in. I didn't do a meeting. I didn't do shoot. I didn't do a video this morning. I was late. I was running late. And then not only was I running late, but I got into this deep prayer with God this morning, and it was kind of deep. I was crying. I cried a lot this morning, and so I'm doing this video tonight. Hopefully my battery don't die. So I'm gonna do a quick video because I don't want a day to go past that I'm not sharing about my life and my journey, because that's what this whole my life my journey is about, and just the process of like really wanting to do right, of really wanting to change your life. I come from nothing. I come from a background that's I'll just say a challenging background. I didn't really have a mom and a dad to like kind of mold me. My grandparents was there. They taught me a lot about spiritual things, and so it's important to me that I come to y'all and talk to y'all about the things that went on through my day. Like I said this morning, I was crying and praying. I went to work, and I went to a school, and it was a good day. We didn't quite serve 50 people, but it was cool. Carry out didn't do very well at all. I'm on this new venture, and I just got a lot of things that's in my mind that I want to do. I'm just, I just wish that people would, I don't know. I wish I had more of a support system, but you know what? I keep going. Tonight, have you ever had people in your life, or do you have people in your life that you just kind of pacify? They're just around, and it's not really you're not really building. There's no substance. Maybe you have that friend that you always just fight and argue with, or maybe you might have that friend that it's just I don't know, BS talk. There's really no thriving in the relationship. I think I came to the realization today. I have to be honest with myself, and I have to be honest with other people. I can't keep stringing people along, and with friendships, empty friendships. That's not fair to me, and it's not fair to them. So that was one realization that I had today, especially tonight. I was talking about Abraham and Sarah, and so Abraham and Sarah had a baby. I think his name was Isaac, at a very, very old age. I think there was like almost 100, or I think one of them was 100. Joseph was probably, Abraham was probably 100 and something, and I think Sarah might have been 99 or something like that, in her 90s. And so Sarah had this baby. Now, Abraham, back in the day, he had, I think it was a slave girl. I can't remember her name. My brain is I guess I'm getting old. It's just that I'm getting old. But anyway, the slave girl had a son. So Abraham had a baby by his servant, and he had to send them on their way. And so Sarah was told by God earlier on, years before she had Isaac, that she was going to have a baby. Sarah never believed it. When she did have a baby, Abraham was like, "Whoa!" Like, it was a surprise. It was just like they were so old. And so Sarah had told Abraham that he gonna have to send the slave girl and the boy and his son away. Abraham, who wants to send their son away? But it was something that had to be fulfilled. It had to be fulfilled so things could happen. A lot of things could happen, but I don't know. It just tonight's Bible reading, it kind of just kind of reminded me that there's a process of everything, and if you're like really trying to change your life and do good, you can't keep pacifying relationships. You can't just keep holding on to relationships in there and it's not going to bring you anything. Or that relationship might be damaging to you and that other person. So you and that other person have to be real. And then I'm beginning to find out that when your life starts changing, people is just not really going to be in agreement. So you're going to be the bad guy. And I just realized that. I know that I'm going to probably be the bad guy in a lot of things. But, faith, it comes in many different ways. And so when you really, really have faith, when God tells you to do something, don't hesitate to do it. And so that's what I'm not going to do. I'm not gonna hesitate and not do the things that I need to do to open up new doors for me. And I really don't want to cut nobody off, and I really don't want to I really want to, I would like the people that's in my life. I love them to death, and I cherish them, and I don't want them to go anywhere. But I have to allow them to understand my position on things, and so I can't pacify things. So that was one life lesson that I realized, and it's probably gonna hurt or whatever. But the good thing about it is that when you stay faithful, and when you're faithful to yourself, to God, and for the cause, then you open up, you receive more blessings that way. And so that's what I'm learning. It's gonna be tough. Life is tough when you're trying to do the right thing. See, everybody else is doing whatever they want to do. They don't have really that Bible-based conscience. See, we all have a conscience to some extent, right? Unless we just out here just knocking people over the head or whatever. But if you live a decent life or whatever, and you kind of, decent person, you don't bother nobody, you don't want to see no harm come to nobody, and you ain't trying to harm nobody, there's that conscience right there. You ain't trying to break no laws or whatever. Ain't nobody trying to go to jail. There's that conscience. But there's a difference between just your normal conscience or a Bible-based conscience, because, see, our parents knew what was best for us, right? They knew what was best for us when we was young. When we wanted to touch that stove, it was like, no, don't touch it, hot. And we were like, hot, hot, hot. We didn't really know it, but we went on ahead and touched it anyway, and we burnt ourselves. Or maybe that wasn't the example, but we've done things that we wasn't supposed to do, and we learned why we shouldn't do them later. But in all actuality, if we would have listened, we would have been better off, right? We would have saved ourselves that scar. We would have saved ourselves those tears. So, in saying that, our Father, God our Father, knows us better than we know ourselves, right? So we have to be obedient. And sometimes we're going to have to do things that we don't want to do. But to be obedient, it gives us the opportunity to receive the blessings that He promised us. These are things that He's promised. And so, unless you don't want to receive those things, then I guess you can keep on, disregarding and bump your head, do whatever you want to do. Reminds me of the discussion I was having with a friend of mine tonight about the kids now. Like, kids nowadays, they're looking at social media, look at all these people, they got making all this money, they're doing all this stuff, and it's like, oh man, I wish I was like them. Or they get depressed, they get sad. Social media has an effect on people that I've never seen before ever. When I was growing up, I never thought that I wanted to be like somebody, or I never thought or was envious of anybody else. When people were successful, I was happy for their success. And I used the resources around me, which was none, which is not many, not much. You know what I'm saying? When my mother, she got us from my grandparents. My grandparents they had all the resources that we need. But my mom, she got custody of us. But my mom, she continued to do drugs and all that stuff. Never had a dad, except for the dudes that she had running in and out, and they wasn't really good examples. So I didn't really have much of a resource. So now it takes me to 40 years old to own my own business and be struggling and not being able to, barely paying rent. I ain't really paid rent in like 2-3 months. But anyway, long story short, because I don't want this video to end, our parents knew what was best for us. But see, as parents, we're supposed to be molding the kids. So now we're not even molding the kids, because in schools they teaching the kids, innovative, just be innovative. You have your own mind. You can do whatever you want to do. Set your mind to it, and you can do it or whatever. So now it takes a village. From thousands of years, it's taken a village to raise kids. We're supposed to be there when they fall, pick them up, keep going, and we're pushing them toward their greatness. But our kids are looking at everybody else's greatness. They're not taking advantage of the people around them, because now they're like, well, you're old. You lived your life. You did your thing. This is what I'm supposed to do. But I have yet to see what people that's worked for me, except for one, give it they all and stick with it. You know what I'm saying? Our kids, they don't want to stick with nothing. How you going to half-ass one thing but think you're going to be great at another thing? Every job that I've ever had, I always tried to be at least number one or top three. I've always, you know, there's times you're just not going to be the best. I wasn't the best bartender, but I was up there. I would say I was top three. I would think I was the top three, just in my commitment and you know, just wanting to be better. You know what I'm saying? And everything that I've ever done, cooking, serving food, I've always tried to be the best at it, because that was going to bring me to the next level, to whenever I felt my craft or whenever I felt out what I wanted to do, I would be the best at that too. And us as parents, us as a community, us as a society, we're just allowing the kids to do whatever they want to do and innovative, think their way into the various depression and anxiety that's causing them to not want to have no motivation to even work, to do anything. I have yet to see a person come on the Say Cheese truck and be like, I'm gonna give this my all. I'm gonna be the best at this. If you try to be the best at something that you that might be just your stepping stone. Why? Let me say, why even get a job if you're not going to try to be the best at it? Because in your journey in life, aren't you trying to figure out what it is that you want to do? So while you're trying to figure out what it is that you want to do, why wouldn't you try to be the best at it? I don't know. Anyway, just something for y'all to think about. Is who's in your life that you know, that you just really need to be honest with and be like, yo, what are we doing? We need to change some things, or we need to go our separate ways. Or are you that person that's looking at somebody else's situation? See, what they did in their situation was they used their foundation and they used the people around them to be great, right? They didn't just get there on their own. They had some kind of support system. You know, like people, I'm self-made, all this stuff. Yeah, but you used the things that was around you. You used something around you to get you to that point. You learned from other people's mistakes. See, what parents, what kids can do now is they can use their parents' mistakes and be the best and be better than that. You know, but instead the kids are pushing the parents away, and the parents is allowing it. We're supposed to be there to guide them. That saying that it takes a village to raise kids has not went away. It never was supposed to go away. So, if you're trying to be the greatest or you're trying to be the best at something, try being the best at whatever you're doing right now. Because what's right now, that's what matters. You might find out you might not even want to do whatever it is that you're trying to do. You might find out that, you know what, I want to just live simple, have peaceful. This is making the money I'm supposed to make, you know what I'm saying? And I'm the best and people love me. I'm doing my thing. You know what I'm saying? But you'll never know if you don't put your all into it. My grandma used to say, take your coat off and stay a while. When you go on that job, why don't you take your coat off and stay a while? Always think in your mind, I'm going to be here for a year. For a year. You know why? Because it's going to give me knowledge. You can never know so much. You can never be on one job and know everything. You can't. You're going to continue to learn every single day. Learning is repetitive. Doing the same thing over and over and over again. That's how you become the best. So if the next job that you apply for, plan on staying for a while. It's going to make your resume look good. It's going to make you know what I'm saying? It's going to make you look better. I'm done talking. I'm done ranting. Share this video with somebody that you think that'll appreciate it. You know, like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to ring that notification bell. I love y'all. I ain't gonna, you know what I'm saying? I love y'all. Keep your head up. I'll talk to y'all in the morning. Peace.